Hello, my name is Matthew Pfeiffer with MattPfeifferCoaching.com. Thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. On this channel, I talk about all things narcissism. I answer the questions of people who send in emails who have questions about a narcissistic loved one, family member, or possibly a workplace dynamic. And if you have a question that you would like for me to answer on this channel, make sure you send it to justaskmatt@MattPfeifferCoaching.com. Again, that is justaskmatt@MattPfeifferCoaching.com. And I would love to answer any questions that you may have in regards to narcissism or a toxic relationship. Just make sure that you keep that email 2 to 3 paragraphs max, and you're very direct and to the point of what your question actually is, because I do read the email as the video is shooting. And so to make the experience more pleasurable for the listener and for people who are watching, we do have to keep that email concise. And also just give me a little bit of time, because I do get a lot of emails and I have a lot of paid coaching clients that I have to get to first. And I also have a lot of other social media platforms that I have to tend to as well. Make sure you hit the bell notification. Make sure you hit the subscribe notification as well, so you're notified every time I upload a new video. I upload new videos 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. And so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. And with that being said, let me get to this email. So this is more of a toxic situation. At least from this email, I have not heard a lot of narcissism in it. But just based on what I have, the information I have, this is more of a toxic relationship than it is a narcissistic one. And this email reads, "My boyfriend lost his dad about 2 months ago, but I get this feeling that he does not want to deal with it. You have to allow for him to deal with it on his own time. There's 5 stages of grief. There's denial, depression, there's anger, there's bargaining, and there is acceptance. You have to understand that everyone goes through this process on their own time, right? And we also have to understand that people can bounce around. It's not a linear progression. He could be in denial. He could be in acceptance right now. He could be perfectly fine. But you have to allow for him to deal with his emotions on his own time, right? You can make suggestions, recommendations. You can be there for him. You know, if he does fall into a depressive state, that sort of thing. But these are his feelings, his emotions to deal with, not yours." So this email continues. "Before his father passed away, we had this friend, but I had a feeling about him after his dad passed away, the feelings just grew and grew. The friend does know his boundaries, and that starts fights between me and my boyfriend. If he knows his boundaries, should not be starting fights." All right, so either he's not respecting those boundaries, or he doesn't know the boundaries, or guess what? He does not care. "I have this feeling he is trying to overstep his welcomeness, but I'm doing my best to stop it." I'm gonna challenge you there, right? The best way to stop it is to stop it, right? I have a feeling, you've already talked about boundaries and that he's overstepping his boundaries, that and this has been going on for a while. Right, so either there's too much conversation going on, or there would not be fights going on between you and your boyfriend. The fights would be between him and your boyfriend, right? It sounds like we're enabling this guy's behavior, right? So if you're gonna stop it, stop it. You should not be trying to spare this guy's feelings, especially someone who is overstepping their boundaries and is flat out being very disrespectful to you and your current relationship. "Me and my boyfriend were talking, but I feel like there's something more to that." What's more to that is he feels disrespected, right? There's not very many people out there, man or woman, that would appreciate their significant other talking to someone on a friendly level, right? Knowing that that other person has an agenda, right? And just based off what you've told me so far, that this guy doesn't know his boundaries, he has an agenda, right? And your boyfriend clearly clearly does not like it. And then this email continues. Me and my boyfriend were talking, and I feel like there was a lot more to that. I don't know why, but I just want to make sure everything is okay. It's not okay, right? You've made this very clear. It's not okay with him, or he would not be fighting with you about it. It's not okay, right? So I'm going to speak for your boyfriend here. It is not okay. The friend and I get along, and I know that he had a rough life. It does not matter. Right, I'm hearing a lot of giving people a pass where they don't deserve a pass. You're looking at the fact that your boyfriend lost his father as a reason why he could possibly be angry about this. That's not the reason. You're looking at the fact that you're this friend. I don't even think he's a friend. This guy's like trying to get in your pants. You're looking at that and you're giving this guy a pass because he had a rough life. The two don't correlate, right? If he had a rough life, he can go get therapy. You can pass him my number if you want to. He can go get a therapist. You're not his therapist. You can't help him with his rough life, right? In particular, when he's being disrespectful of your current relationship and is causing issues with your situation, right? And at some point in time, because you're not setting and enforcing a boundary, guess what? You also are being very disrespectful of your relationship as well. This email continues. The friend and I get along, and I know that he had a rough life, but I really just want to help my boyfriend overcome the obstacle that he is facing right now. If you're going to help him, then help him. But your boyfriend is facing two obstacles. This obstacle that you're not setting boundaries with this guy, right? That you won't cut him out. And this obstacle of grieving his father, right? And so what I'm hearing from you is that you're trying to straddle a line. You don't want to hurt this guy's feelings, right? But this guy clearly has no problem hurting you or your boyfriend's feelings, right? This gentleman, this friend of yours, isn't really a friend, right? Your boyfriend knows that. He's picked up on that, right? His senses are tingling on him, that the fact that, and you've already said it, like, obviously this is coming from you, not your boyfriend. This guy doesn't know his boundaries. This is not a friend, right? And so if your loyalty, if you have an interest in this guy, right? If you really want to help this guy out, you have to understand, if you keep this guy in your life, you might as well kiss your relationship goodbye, right? Because that is what's going to happen. Your boyfriend knows what's going on here. Right, so you ended this email with the question, what can I do? You need to make a decision, right? And just from what you have told me, this gentleman does not care that you're in a relationship. He's disrespecting your boundaries. And your boyfriend knows that if there's ever an issue between the two of you, that this guy is going to be the first person that you call, and this guy is also going to take full advantage of that, right? Your boyfriend knows this. Not, a lot of times people throw around the word jealousy, and they think that, they look at it as like a bad thing. I have a jealous boyfriend. Sometimes certain situations, jealousy is actually, we have the feelings of jealousy for a reason. Yes, some people can take that too far. In this situation, I haven't heard your boyfriend taking this too far. He's completely justified in his feelings from what I've heard. Right? How he responds to it, I don't know. You haven't alluded to that or anything like that, but if he's jealous, I can understand why. Right? He has someone that's actively trying to come after his girl, right? That's not respecting boundaries. He knows this, while he's trying to grieve his father, and his girl isn't doing anything about it. Right? That would hurt. And I have a feeling that if the shoe were on the other foot, you wouldn't appreciate it either. Right? So to answer your question, what can I do? You need to make some very clear-cut boundaries with this friend, or you need to leave your boyfriend and pursue your friend. Right? You can't straddle this line. Right? This is, even though I'm not hearing, I open this up that I'm not hearing a lot of narcissistic behavior, but this is toxic. Right? And when we start what this is, if you've followed me for a while, when I talk about self-love. The opposite of self-love is self-sabotage. You're self-sabotaging this relationship. I don't know how good it is. All I can do is go off of this email, right? But this relationship is being sabotaged. You need to enter self-love into this dynamic. You need to set some clear-cut boundaries with this guy, with this friend. And if your relationship is that important to you, you would cut this guy out of the equation, this friend. Thank you for sending in an email. If anyone else has an email that you would like to send in, if you have a question about a relationship, romantic partner, maybe it's a friend or a family member that could have some toxic or narcissistic traits, send it in to justaskmatt@mattpfeiffercoaching.com. Also, if you would like to work with me one-on-one, you can go to my website, mattpfeiffercoaching.com, or you can click the link below, and that will also take you to all of my other social media platforms, along with my group sessions as well, and my support group on Facebook, and also my merchandise. So with that being said, I will talk to you soon.